entire apartment complex.
It appears there was some sort of explosion as the debris covers the entire road.
Residents climbing out windows, dropping children to safety as hundreds of firefighters battle the three-alarm blaze. At least 25 people rushed to the hospital. The search for survivors is on right now.
A SWAT team takes down a suicide bomber near the U.S. border. The ISIS supporter planning to attack a major city. A dramatic confrontation overnight.
Hillary Clinton doubles down, accuses Trump of inciting violence against her. And the moment this man scales Trump Tower, looking for a meeting with the Republican nominee.
And big wins for the Golden Girls of Team USA. Katie Ledecky anchors a huge victory in the 400-meter relay as Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte go head-to-head with a photo finish. Now heading for the finals. And Carmelo Anthony sets a U.S. Olympic scoring record.
Anthony. Yes.
As the men's basketball team edges out Australia in a nail-biter. We're live in Rio for all the action.
Good morning, America.
Live in Times Square and Rio de Janeiro, this is Good Morning America.
USA, USA. How about Katie Ledecky pushing Team USA to yet another goal there in the pool?
And look at her teammates reach out, grab her hand at the end there. Another gold for Team USA. Big day ahead. Amy's tracking all the excitement in Rio.
It is so exciting here, guys. Team USA dominating in the water and on the bike. Gold medalist Kristen Armstrong, who turns 43 today, by the way, finishing strong, celebrating there with her 5-year-old son. And we have her amazing story just ahead.
Okay, Amy, we're going to get back to you in a moment. But first, we want to get to that breaking news. A massive fire in Maryland taking down an apartment complex. Firefighters rushing to save survivors. More than 24 people taken to the hospital. ABC's Gloria Riviera is on the scene in Silver Spring, Maryland. Good morning, Gloria.
Good morning, Robin. The scene here is utter destruction. Officials say they still don't know what caused the fire and explosion last night, but you can see this morning crews are still on the scene working to put out hot spots. Overnight, a massive fire engulfing this Maryland apartment building. At least 25 people rushed to the hospital as firefighters raced to put out the blaze. An eyewitness took this video of what the massive flames look like just a few feet away.
County police on scene advising people trapped on 2nd and 3rd floor.
We got reports of people trapped on the 4th floor.
Watch as 2 residents escape the smoke-filled top floor, climbing out a window onto a waiting fire ladder. Residents forced to jump from upper-story balconies. Children dropped by their parents from windows. 5 to 7 people still unaccounted for as nearly 200 rescue workers responded to the inferno. Witnesses reported hearing a loud boom. Nearby homes shook as debris like this door scattered across the street.
Here there was some sort of explosion.
And all I heard was a big boom. And it sounded like an earthquake.
It's really bad to see the fire just going up and going up.
First responders setting up a makeshift triage station on site. People seem dazed, bandaged, watching as the fire rages. The fire chief saying that before emergency crews got on the scene, there were multiple civilian rescues, neighbors saving neighbors. Search and rescue teams will stay on the site until everyone from those 28 apartments is accounted for. George?
Okay, Gloria, thanks very much. We're going to move on now to breaking news from the border. New details emerging right now on a foiled suicide bomb plot in Canada, where police killed the suspect. Dramatic operation. ABC's chief global affairs anchor Martha Raddatz has all the latest. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, George. Canadian authorities believed the planned suicide attack on a major city in Canada was imminent. SWAT teams and the bomb squad swarmed to residents about an hour north of the U.S. border, where 23-year-old Aaron Driver was hiding out, eventually killing him in a hail of bullets. Canadian television says Driver planned to use a homemade bomb to carry out the suicide mission in a public area with the goal, George, of creating mass casualties.
And Martha, he'd been on their radar.
He was known as an ISIS sympathizer who posted on social media, although there is no evidence yet that he was directed by the terror group, but he had been previously arrested. Police say he once published instructions for aspiring jihadists to reach Syria and referred to non-Muslims as enemies. George?
Thank goodness they stopped him. Okay, Martha, thanks very much.
Thank goodness indeed, George. Now to Donald Trump, not backing down on those Second Amendment comments, seen by some as a threat against Hillary Clinton.
His rival now reacting. And ABC's Cecilia Vega has the latest from the Clinton campaign trail in Des Moines, Iowa. Good morning, Cecilia.
Robin, good morning to you. This is not going away for Donald Trump. He says those Second Amendment comments were designed to unite Second Amendment supporters, but Hillary Clinton, speaking out about them for the first time here in Iowa, says her opponent is inciting violence.
Overnight, the Republican nominee doubling down on those controversial comments about Clinton and Second Amendment supporters. From Florida,
we need our Second Amendment,
to Virginia.
We have to protect our Second Amendment, which is under siege.
But Clinton telling supporters her opponent is inciting violence.
We witnessed the latest in a long line of casual comments from Donald Trump that cross the line.
But Trump continued his attack on Clinton and President Obama with a new accusation.
ISIS is honoring President Obama. He is the founder. He founded ISIS. And I would say the co-founder would be crooked Hillary Clinton.
This morning, a new batch of just released State Department emails, raising fresh questions about whether favors were exchanged for donations to the Clinton Foundation. Trump is pouncing.
Pay for play. Called pay for, you're not allowed to do it, it's illegal.
While Clinton's campaign says Hillary Clinton never took action as Secretary of State because of donations to the Clinton Foundation.
And we've also just learned that Hillary Clinton is expected to release her 2015 tax returns. That could come as soon as tomorrow, 10 years worth for her new running mate, Tim Kaine. George, this is likely a move to put some pressure on Donald Trump to get him to release his.
Yeah, trying to smoke him out. Okay, Cecilia, thanks very much. Let's bring in Matthew Dowd for more on all this. And Matt, this was supposed to be the economy week for the two candidates. Donald Trump had his speech on Monday, Hillary Clinton today, speaking on the economy. But of course, it's being dominated by other things. First off, on Donald Trump, is he digging himself into a hole with these Second Amendment comments, or are we overblowing it?
I think probably both. He's digging himself in a hole, and I think the media has pounced on it in a way that's, I think, exacerbated it. And it's I don't think any reading of it actually threatened Hillary Clinton, but it was a stupid remark that hurts him in the long run. This is the problem with Donald Trump. He can't stay disciplined long enough on one topic in order to break through, in order to get the numbers back with Hillary Clinton.
Meantime, you got more of those emails coming out on Hillary Clinton. A report in the New York Times this morning that up to 100 Democratic Party officials have also been hacked, so there's likely more releases to come over the next few months. The question is this baked in for voters, or will this new information really hurt?
George, you know, every time we watch this campaign, it looks like a Marvel comic movie in the course of this. Russian hackers, a guy climbing, Spider-Man climbing the building, villains in the course of this race. I think this is embarrassing, but the question is when they come out, whether it's really, really harms her in the course of this. We saw that the emails released in the course of the Democratic convention took down the chairwoman of the party in the course of this. This is problematic because it feeds a story that Hillary Clinton, among the majority of the country, don't feel they can trust her.
At the same time, she's expanding the electoral map right now. Democratic officials talking about moving into states like Georgia, which Democrats haven't won since 1992, and North Carolina, which President Obama lost in 2012.
Well, the great thing about this, George, is it actually looks for the first time in a long time we're going to have a national race because the map is so big for Hillary Clinton now, and the map has become much smaller for Donald Trump. It's no longer 8 target states in the course of this. We have now expanded the map probably for the biggest time since the 80s in the course of this, so maybe the majority of the country will be part of the conversation.
And you're saying still keep an eye on those third-party candidates, third and fourth-party candidates, Gary Johnson and Jill Stein.
Yeah, George, this is like a race, an Olympic race in the swimming pool. When all the splashing is going on in the middle of the pool, look for the people on the outside lanes that can get through it without the wake. And I think Gary Johnson especially, more so, but to a degree Jill Stein, but Gary Johnson could actually gain momentum. And if he gets in that presidential debate, the first presidential debate, there is no telling what could happen in this race.
Yeah, that could make a big difference. He's got to gain some points to get there. 15% threshold. Matt Dowd, thanks very much.
And George, we're going to turn now to that attempt to scale Trump Tower in Manhattan using suction cups to make his way up 21 floors before emergency responders pulled him inside. ABC's Gio Benitez is outside Trump Tower and has the latest for us. Good morning, Gio.
Robin, good morning to you. It was a tense and dramatic scene here as we watched that man hang off of this building. And now we're told this morning all he wanted to do was meet Donald Trump. This morning, a real-life Spider-Man in police custody after scaling New York's Trump Tower Wednesday afternoon. Now he's undergoing a psych evaluation. Watch as the self-professed Trump supporter from Virginia ascends to the building's 21st floor using industrial-grade suction cups. The stunt lasting 3 hours.
He was probably looking at another 6 to 8 hours on the wall. This type of climbing is well known to be incredibly slow.
Slow enough for authorities to cut through several glass windows, then grabbing the daredevil, pulling him to safety.
I reached out, I took hold of his hand, and I said, "Sir, you need to come with me."
Hundreds of bystanders and pedestrians on the ground captivated. Even from inside the building, witnesses shocked.
What am I doing?
Police say the unnamed man,
Hello, Mr. Trump.
who released this video manifesto Tuesday, was heading up to the 56th floor, home to, you guessed it, Donald J. Trump.
I'm an independent researcher seeking a private audience with you to discuss an important matter.
And while Donald Trump has only responded on Twitter to thank those courageous police officers, it seems he can count on the stuntman's vote.
Be sure to get out and vote for Mr. Trump in the 2016 election.
And this morning, that man is getting his psychological evaluation, and once that's all over, he'll be arrested and charged, most likely with reckless endangerment and trespassing. Robin and George.
All right, Gio, thank you for gridlock when that was happening.
Oh, sure was. All kinds of strange things happening in this campaign. And now we're going to move on to the Olympics. More golds for Team USA. Katie Ledecky leads the women's swimmers to victory as Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte kick up their epic rivalry. Amy covering it all from our Olympics desk in Rio. Hey, Amy.
Hey, good morning, guys. And the Olympic pool hosting some truly nail-biting races. Team USA stars giving their all as they go for gold.
10 meters from Katie Ledecky of the United States, and as expected, the U.S. women win gold in the 4x2.
Call them the Golden Girls. Katie Ledecky leading her team to victory in the women's 4x200-meter freestyle relay in a neck-and-neck race. Watch as Ledecky pulls ahead of Australia in the final leg.
Went in a full second behind, and now she's a full second ahead.
The U.S. women now winning this event 5 of the last 6 Olympics.
But Phelps is looking pretty smooth again.
And swimming superstars Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte going head-to-head in the 200 individual medley semifinals. Phelps placing first with Lochte right behind him coming in a close second. Both will swim in the finals tonight. Phelps hunting for his 22nd gold medal.
And there is Chalmers finding Adrian for the gold medal.
Meanwhile, defending champion Nathan Adrian winning bronze in the men's 100-meter freestyle.
And Nathan Adrian gets the bronze.
American Josh Pernot taking silver in the 200-meter breaststroke. And a surprising win for the U.S. diving team.
That was beautiful!
Sam Dornan and Michael Hickson somersaulting into silver in the men's synchronized springboard, the highest ever American finish in this event. It was a disappointing night for the U.S. men's gymnastics team, who finished 7th and 14th, Japan taking gold. And gold medalist Kristen Armstrong pedaling to her 3rd consecutive gold in cycling.
Gold medal for Kristen Armstrong.
Watch as the 42-year-old collapses to the ground after crossing the finish line, shedding tears of joy, her 5-year-old son leaping into her arms.
For him to experience this, I think that it's an experience that every mom would love to bring their child.
Here, Armstrong shows off her new gold medal to son Lucas, who asked her after the race, "Why are you crying? You won." She said, "That's what we do. We cry when we're happy."
And Kristen is actually a 43-year-old woman today. Happy birthday to her. She has 2 reasons to celebrate big today, George and Robin.
Boy, she sure does. What else are you looking forward to today, Amy?
Well, I got a lot to look forward to, but mostly I am so excited about the U.S. women's gymnastics. Simone Biles and Aly Raisman take on the world in the individual all-around, so I will be there to watch that. And then Phelps and Lochte are going to go head-to-head in the highly anticipated 200-meter IM final. So a lot to watch today, guys.
There is.
And Jesse has his eye on that matchup as well. He's got the medal count overnight. Jesse?
That's right, Robin. As of right now, Team USA leading in gold medals and the overall medal count. China in second
place in gold and overall. Japan, Russia, and Australia round out the top 5. And I just want to give a quick shout out to my Florida Gators. Gator athletes doing outstanding at these Olympics. They've won 5 medals so far. That's more than 196 different countries. They have a chance for a 6th medal tonight with Ryan Lochte swimming. And we've got another Florida Gator, Connor Dwyer, who's going to be live on the show with us here coming up in just a little bit, Robin.
All right, I know you're proud. Thank you, Jesse. And someone that both of us knew very well. Now to the life and legacy of legendary sports reporter and host John Saunders. So many remembering the longtime ESPN anchor and member of the ABC family who passed away Wednesday at the age of 61.
And here are today's sports reporters.
John Saunders, the legendary and versatile ESPN sportscaster, hosted and provided play-by-play coverage for nearly 3 decades. Simply put, he was the real deal.
Congratulations to the national champion Texas Longhorns.
I'll always remember my dear friend for his warmth, his distinctive baritone voice.
I'm John Saunders.
And his hearty laugh.
Tuesday Night Baseball.
For the past 15 years, John hosted the Sports Reporters, a Sunday morning roundtable discussion. With his insightful commentary, his calm, cool, and collected demeanor, John tackled issues of the day.
One of the most ridiculous things I've heard is someone questioning the leadership of an African-American athlete by saying he isn't black enough. Black enough for who? There was another African-American, some labeled not black enough. Now they call him Mr. President.
Among his many roles at ESPN, he covered college basketball with the late Jim Valvano. Their partnership on air blossoming into a friendship. And when Jimmy V passed away, John became a founding member and served on the board of directors for the V Foundation for Cancer Research, championing the cause as his own. Oh, he was a proud Canadian. He never hid his love for hockey, but it was his family that he loved most. His wife Wanda and daughters Aaliyah and Jenna. For the ESPN family, a significant loss.
I have some shocking and sad news to report to you.
ESPN President John Skipper saying he was one of the most significant and influential members of the ESPN family. As a colleague and a mentor, he will be sorely missed, but most certainly not forgotten. Not at all. So much to his legacy, and many in the ESPN family were reaching out to each other before the news broke. I gave you a call, Jesse, but you had already heard from some producers there. It's just something so special about him.
Yeah, you know, the world lost a great human being and a great father and a great colleague, but even a better friend. He was so good at TV. I was always in awe of him that way, working with him. He made me better at my job. I was lucky to work with him. But more than that, he made me love this profession so much more because I spent all my time with John laughing and smiling.
And he was a real mentor to so many.
Oh, gosh. I mean, the reason that I did NFL Primetime, which really put me on the map, is because of John. He stepped down from that position to do baseball, and he was the one that shoved me into the boss's office and said, asked for that job. Awesome. He was just great, but you know, as great as he was, an even better human being.
Yeah.
And I'm a better person.
One of the most generous and caring people I've ever known.
That he was. Yeah.
He's going to be missed.
Yeah, he will be.
Let's move on now to Rob. What do you got over there, Rob?
Well, I tell you, as a viewer, he was just a joy to watch, no doubt about that. And we go to the ESPN home state of Connecticut, where oddly there was a tornado yesterday in North Haven. Look at that, EF0. So 70 mile an hour winds, not too much damage, but actually skipped ahead towards Long Island, gave the folks in the Hamptons a scare. That was one severe thunderstorm. We've got a lot of severe weather across parts of southern Minnesota. They have that last 24 hours, really some severe rainfall there, and also in parts of Utah and Arizona. So look for more in the way of flooding there and across parts of New Orleans. This front kind of gets hung up. We could see some rain in the more of 5 inches all the way to Pittsburgh, but where it's not raining, it's going to be really, really humid. Speaking of, here's your heat index brought to you by Tide Pods.
Although just 4'8", Simone Biles is not to be underestimated. Despite her size, Simone is packed with power. Refined, concentrated power. That's why she trusts Tide Pods. She knows small can be powerful. Tide, #1 rated.
Heat advisory goes up today starting at noon and runs until 8 p.m. The county's in orange, so mainly along and east of I-95 for Fairfax County, Prince William County as well. Today's temperatures will top out at 96 degrees, but look at what it will feel like during the afternoon hours, 99 to 103. So if there are any activities that you could put off until sometime next week, I'd say go ahead and do that. Limit your time outdoors today. The weekend, higher heat, even a chance of storms.
Coming up here on GMA, murder mystery in D.C., a Democratic